this isn't like a critique of like modern game developers or designers, and it is hard to come up with new game design, but a lot of those games set the foundation for like the paths we've gone down for the past 20 years.
Yep.
Like you look at Resident Evil 4, that was Mikami essentially, and a few other people, I think, and even maybe Kamiya. There's a couple people that developed that game, and
Yeah.
then that sort of inspired Gears of War, it inspired Uncharted, it inspired all these different things due to like because they said Gears of War was inspired by Resident Evil 4. At least I recall them saying
Yeah.
that over the shoulder. And then they had the cover based shooting, which then sort of inspired Uncharted, which of course was also inspired by Tomb Raider. So it's just like this layering of just this original foundational well of like amazing designers and developers, and that of course includes like the Zelda team and the Mario team and all those guys, the Tomb Raider team back
Yeah.
from like the 90s and 2000s, essentially.
I spoke to Sean Layden a while back, and he was talking about how game development has essentially doubled every generation. So it's getting to the
Yeah.
point now where you've got diminishing returns. I mean,
Oh
how much,
yeah.
how realistic is it to push graphics more and more and more? Like, is it really
It's an
worth
arms
it?
race, to be honest,
Yeah.
because like I on my free time I play a lot of like PS1 style indie games on Steam.
Oh,
Like
nice.
I loved Signalis. I'm playing a game called Fly Night, which is a sort of a really weird knockoff of Kingsfield. Like I love the old school Resident Evil 1 games. I finally played Dino Crisis PS1, which I'd missed. And those games are amazing. They're so good. They're like this clockwork system of design and art. Like it's really impressive playing through them. Like how much they had to really have their thing their it's like the game design was more figured out than the story or anything else. Like the stories are usually just a mess in those games. It doesn't really matter. And now I feel like you've gotten more story, more art versus before it was more mechanics and more design because the art and the story was really difficult to do because you couldn't do long cutscenes and you couldn't really show that much for just couldn't render it. So I feel like it's sort of shifted, or people that try to do both. It's just the game's going to take like 5-6 years to make.